This is the 25th episode of the Strength and Stoic podcast here on YouTube. And today, as I mentioned before, this week I will talk about only the habits, bad habits, and how to create good habits. And then Sunday, TikTok Live on my personal TikTok, I will share and summarize and give tools to people who want to actually get rid of old habits, bad habits, and create good habits, and how you do it. Yeah. So guys, today's subject is the habit is not the problem, the feeling is. The real beginning. Think about your strongest bad habit, not the small ones, the one you return to again and again. Now you ask yourself something different, not why I do this, but what do I feel right before I do this? Because habits don't start with action, they start with emotion. You don't drink for no reason, you don't scroll for no reason, you don't overeat, avoid, or escape for no reason. Something happens first, a feeling. And most people never stop long enough to see it. Now guys, I'll tell you one thing. From my experience, when I worked in hospitality and when I was a manager and when I had my own restaurant, as I mentioned before, with my business partners, as you know, hospitality is a very stressful environment, and even more stressful when you work for yourself, because all the problems is concentrated in your head. And especially if you struggle financially or stuff-wise or whatever, and you are the one who does everything in the business, is even worse because you don't have time to think properly how to do things, what to do, and yeah. So when I was stressed, and I really got stressed, the first thing what my mind asked is for drink alcohol, so I had to drink straight away, and then this drinking habit escalated to another habit, which I'm not gonna talk about it because again I don't want to get in jail or anything like that, and I'm not worshipping those things anymore. So yeah, so I got this habit as soon as the stress hit me. I have the trick. That was the trigger for me to drink, and I had to drink. So many times, by end of the shift or the night, I was wasted as fuck, and I cannot even clean the restaurant or do anything because I was just way too drunk, and I couldn't finish the things. So next time as well, guys. So how you deal with this? You obviously change your environment and you trying to be less stressful and do things which is less stressful if you have this issue, which has happened with me. Obviously, when you work for somebody, you cannot do this unless you want to keep your job. This is the double-edged things when you work for yourself. Careful what you wish, because yeah, freedom is amazing. But when it's good, only if it's connected with discipline. Otherwise, it's a trap, and it actually destroy you more than give you better life and better opportunities. So be careful, guys, and just start to watch yourself before you smoke a cigarette or before you have any bad habits. What kind of feelings you have? Again, guys, I trying to tell you, be more conscious with yourself and trying to look yourself a little bit from far distance, from step back once, and then you will realize many things. Watch your thoughts, how they coming and going, and yeah, just watch yourself before you say something or before you react. Takes a bit of practice, but it's amazing how you can learn actually how to control your reaction, because what the Stoic says, again, you cannot control what's happening around you, but you can control how you react. So the hidden trigger, the habit is a reaction. It's not random. It's not accidental. It is response to discomfort. What kind of discomfort? Stress, loneliness, boredom, fear, rejection, feeling not good enough, These feelings are uncomfortable, the body wants relief, fast relief, and habits give fast relief. That's why they stay. Yeah, so many times when you are bored, what you do, you take your phone and you scroll for hours unconsciously. Hands on my heart, this is me. Or when you go to socializing and you feel yourself not good enough, what you do, you start to drink because you want to be funny and you want to be part of the team or part of the conversation. And this is when it's happened that people actually who normally not more introvert than extrovert, but after enough amount of alcohol, they are totally different person. Yeah, we used to laugh even with my girlfriend, with my wife and my other friends. We have alter ego, and this is the name. My alter ego is Ferdinand. When he comes out, he's a destroyer, he's a very bad person, very addictive. So yeah, it's funny, but not funny after a while. So this is why people change. This is why people are very different when they drunk or when they don't drunk. This is why it happens as well when you drunk or you under something, some other things. And you are with some people who you don't know, you are super cool because you are super relieved, and you tell things what you actually don't want to say or you don't want to promise, but you promise it because it feels you even better than how you feel. And this is why then when you sober up, you realize, oh my God, what did I say? No, this I'm not gonna do it. And then you get into this loop when your drunk personality becomes a different personality than your sober personality, and then it's a constant fight. And then the problem is you don't know which one is actually your real personality. And if you have anxiety or you have a problem in the social environment, then you start to be addicted of that personality and you start to call out many times. But this is again you have to be very careful and double sword things, because if you call it out too many times, then you're gonna get hooked on alcohol and things like that. And we know as well then there is a bit of fine line to being feeling good from alcohol and being completely wasted. This is how alcoholism kicks off, and then it can go in a very bad level as well if you don't have self-respect. This is why, guys, I'm telling you, discipline is the only way can save you or keep you on the track. Again, I'm not saying don't drink, but you have to know how it is working. Why we attack the wrong thing. Most people try to remove the habit. They say, I will stop drinking, I will stop scrolling, I will stop eating like this. They attack the behavior, but they ignore the emotion. So what happens? The feeling comes back, and because the feeling is still there, the habit returns. You cannot remove the coping tool without understanding what it was coping with. Ooh, this is a quite deep thing. So first of all, what I said before, guys, as well, how to create good habits. So many people, they say, if I'm going to lose 10 kilos, then I'm gonna feel confident myself. But you don't love yourself before you start to do your workout as well. You start to do the diet. This is why, guys, so many people, they use this stupid Bunjaro, Junjaro. I don't know what's the real name. That basically a medication for diabetic to people. It keeps you control your blood sugar, and you think if you're going to lose weight with drugs or with medicine, you're gonna be confident and you will feel good yourself. It's a wrong approach, guys. No, because your personality, your emotions still the same. You didn't change the basic level. You You just thought because you're gonna have this, then you're gonna feel better. It's the same thing as well. When people think if I'm gonna get rich, all my problem will be gone. No, it's not right. You're gonna have different problems. So before you don't fix yourself, before you're not ready for something to welcome, don't ask for it because it will crush you. This is why as well, if you lose weight with the easy weight, you don't love the process, you don't fall in love with the process, then most likely you will gain the weight back because you still hate yourself. You are still not happy with yourself. And you think because you achieve your goal, now you deserve the reward, and the reward, what is to eat again? Why? Because you didn't create the system which actually support your weight loss. Okay, so I leave this a little bit to think about it, and then we can still talk about those bad habits. As I said, this week we only talk about habits and how to create and understand our habit. The quiet moment before, there is always a small space, very small, between feeling and action. Before you open the app, before you open the bottle, before you give up, there is a moment. That moment decides everything. But most people move too fast to notice it. Again, guys, self-awareness. Sometimes we need to step back and watch ourselves why we do that. And again, which is very important, many times we say this, oh, I want to scroll less, oh, I want to read more, but we don't give exact time and exact method to ourselves. And I realize this on myself as well. I say myself since days, I want to read more, I want to read more. Why? Because if you read, the goal is not one book, the goal is become a reader. For that, you need to create a habit. And the habit, it can be small habit, read 20 days, 20 pages, argo, everything, but it needs to be repetitive until it becomes your identity, and then you don't think about it, you just do it because that's who you are. You became a reader, yeah? So, but I always said to myself, when I go to bed, I will read. But I never give myself a structure. As I said, when I go to bed. So what happened, I go to bed and I have my phone and I rather scroll the time away when I realize it's 11 o'clock or even past 11, which for me is quite late already because I need to wake up at 5 o'clock because I do the challenge. Yeah, 90 days commitment challenge, wake up latest 5 o'clock and go for 1 hour walk. And do my other things, training, losing weight, I'm doing many things, but it's not important at the moment. So what happens, you go to bed, you scroll, but you run out of time, so you don't read. Yeah, so what happened, you have to actually give yourself a time, and you have to tell yourself, so when I go to bed, I will start to read. Non-negotiable. I'm not going to take the phone to my hand. If I go to bed, I will read. So this is how I can force myself, because I create the habit, the pattern, when and how it's gonna happen. I'm gonna start to read. So hopefully I got an amazing book, which is Marcus Aurelius, My Meditation. It's not an easy book, and even the English is very different. And what I do, I read a page in English, and then I have to translate to Google Translate to make sure I understand everything. But it's amazing, and I'm really looking forward to that book. So I will let you know. And also as well, what I do, meanwhile I'm walking, I listen audiobook. So guys, there is a many time and an empty space in our life when we choose to do something different because we don't want to create a new habit. And the 24 hours is enough if you do to combine things, and then we can talk about how to stack up the habits, but that's tomorrow, yeah? So awareness changes power. What if you didn't fight the habit? What if you just paused and asked, what am I feeling right now? No judgment, just observation. When you name the feeling, you separate from it. Instead of saying, I need this habit, you say, I feel stressed, I feel lonely, I feel insecure. And suddenly the habit loses some power. Yeah, guys, stop fighting with the habit. Try to understand. When you have drinking issue, try to understand why you are drinking and work on the feelings. try to take the edge out of the feeling and the bad habits. Because trust me, when you are smoking as well a long time, it became your identity. So again, it's hard to lose it. But you don't smoke because you want to be cool. You know it's not cool. You smoke because you are stressed and you think it's gonna give you a relief, or because you know you can go for a small bit of break from work, especially if you work in hospitality. That's a very common thing. So look at yourself. What is connecting, and then try to work on it. Yeah, replacing, not fighting. You don't remove habit by force, you replace them. If the feeling is stress, you need a new way to calm down. If the feeling is loneliness, you need connection. If the feeling is boredom, you need meaning. The habit was trying to help you, it just helped in the wrong way. Yes, let's say my phone addiction, I'm still spend very much time on the phone, but I gave to meaning, and now what I do, I work on my social media. So I still scroll, but I scroll with a meaning. I don't scroll without meaning. So try to give some meaning to your habit, and if you feel something, again, I say this, step back, look yourself from one step away, and if you feel, let's say you are lonely, then try to reach out somebody, talk to somebody. You have to create your master circle, or you need to know, you need to go out or get a dog or manipulate your environment, do anything which gonna make you better. Then you keep on the same loop, and then you're gonna just feel shit yourself. And to the closing, guys, the habit is loud, the feeling is quiet. Most people fight the loud things. Very few listen to the quiet thing. You are not weak, you are responding to something. Understand the feeling, and the habit will slowly lose control. Quote of the day, the habit is loud, the feeling is quiet. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow.